Hey. Well, guys, welcome to 2020. I have a green screen now. Well, anyway, we're not going to be using this entirely yet. Once I have this properly lit and all that sort of stuff, then we'll be getting into more chroma keyed sort of stuff. But, yeah, this is my new green screen setup, so, anyway, let's get into the video. 2019 has been one hell of a year for movies. Some great, some bad, and some that were, well, in between. And today we're going to be bringing you my top 10 movies of 2019. Mind you, just like any of my top lists, these are just comprised of the movies that I saw this year. If you don't see any movies on here that you think should have been on here, we'll leave them in the comments below. But right now, let's get into my top 10 movies of 2019. Directed by Robert Rodriguez and co-written and produced by James Cameron, Alita Battle Angel is probably the best anime manga adaptation to live action that I have ever gotten to see next to Ghost in the Shell. On top of the great visuals, this story is incredibly well written and stays true to the original source material, and the acting is just phenomenal, with Rosa Salazar giving her absolute all into this role, on top of having some really cool action scenes with the rollerball games, and you have a pretty kick-ass movie.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside.
Starring Taron Egerton, this is a musical biopic centered around the eponymous rock star Elton John. From his early years learning music to performing in giant stadiums and his eventual checking into rehab, Rocket Man is a perfect balance between comedy and drama that lends itself beautifully to the screen with the incredible musical numbers, and Taron Egerton easily gives one of his best performances of his career. Truly a fun movie to check out. Set directly after the events of the Breaking Bad season finale, we follow Jesse Pinkman as he struggles to evade police, and many others who are after him as he is still wanted. And in order to escape the life that he has made for himself, he needs to find a lot of money. Aaron Paul once again reprises the role of Jesse Pinkman, and he slips right back into the role beautifully with a very layered, funny, intense, and emotionally powerful performance. Along with some of the best writing, directing, and cinematography seen from anything Breaking Bad related, this is sure to go down as a truly amazing effort from Vince Gilligan and team.
You ready? Yeah.
That? Give me the remote. No, give it off.
Zach, what the bloody hell do you think you're doing?
As someone who grew up watching WWE with my father, it was amazing to see one of the biggest divas, Paige, get a full-on biopic. Not only that, but it's one of the best comedy films of the year. Every performance is so funny, as well as having an amazing amount of heart. It has a great amount of self-awareness, great writing, and some really cool insight on not only wrestling, but the people within the profession. I highly recommend this one to anyone who's a fan of WWE or professional wrestling.
What?
It's Dwayne Johnson. How are you?
Prove it.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
Yeah, and I'm Vin Diesel, mate.
I'm sorry.
God, seems like 1,000 years ago.
The 22nd feature film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the culmination of 11 years after it all fully began with Iron Man back in 2008, this 3-hour-long epic not only delivers with great performances and writing, but also probably one of the greatest final acts in cinematic history. In my opinion, this is the best film in the MCU so far, and honestly, if they had decided to fully end the MCU with this movie, I wouldn't mind. It's an amazing conclusion to a great legacy of movies. Here's hoping the MCU can reach such heights once again in the future. Keanu Reeves and Chad Stahelski return once again with another action masterpiece with John Wick 3. The series hosts some of the best action set pieces and stunt work seen in modern action cinema, along with Keanu Reeves still giving some of his best acting of his career, as well as being so physically committed to every facet of this movie, with this particular film having him pull off at least 98% of his own stunts. On top of that, we have excellent world building and story to go along with these action set pieces. Definitely worth a watch.
When I was a kid, there was a place.
In many ways, this movie should not have worked. Not only did it have to be an accurate adaptation of the Stephen King novel of the same name, but it also had the daunting task of following up one of the greatest horror movies ever made, The Shining. But when you have probably one of the best working horror directors and writers in the industry right now, Mike Flanagan, we got a suspenseful, visually beautiful, well-acted, and incredibly well-written horror film, as well as another fantastic Stephen King adaptation that, in my opinion, is just as good as Stanley Kubrick's version of The Shining.
Come and play with us forever and ever.
My mother always tells me to smile and put on a happy face.
If there's any one reason to see this movie, it is because of Joaquin Phoenix's truly Oscar-caliber performance as the demented, psychotic, incredibly complex Arthur Fleck, aka the Joker. The movie is an incredible look at the demented psychological breakdown of one man whose society has truly failed, in a very Scorsese-esque Taxi Driver / King of Comedy character study. The cinematography is beautiful, the script is incredibly well written, and the film is very well directed. But what truly places it over the top is Joaquin Phoenix, who shines and leaps off the screen as the Clown Prince of Crime, giving possibly not only one of the best performances of his career, but also giving the best acting performance of 2019.
Just
It's over. They're all gone. Frank, it's time. It's time you say what happened.
Martin Scorsese has returned to the gangster genre with The Irishman, a 3.5-hour-long mob epic about a truck driver turned mafia hitman named Frank Sheeran and his friendship with Teamsters president Jimmy Hoffa, and how he might have been the one that made Hoffa disappear. The film stars incredible acting heavyweights such as Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci, who have all been digitally de-aged for their respective roles. The writing and acting for this film is a masterclass, and Scorsese still proves that he is one of the greatest working directors in Hollywood by delivering to us an incredibly well-paced, amazingly shot, and very fascinating film. While I agree it isn't as good as, say, Goodfellas or Casino, it is still yet another Martin Scorsese masterpiece.
We'll bring you back after you get your car.
yeah.
I'm Rick Dalton. It's my pleasure, Mr. Schwartz.
Call me Marvin. Put it there. That your son?
No, it's my stunt double, Cliff Booth.
2 words. Quentin Tarantino. This is yet another masterpiece from Tarantino and team. Set in the backdrop of 1969, Rick Dalton and his stuntman Cliff Booth navigate their way through the tribulations of their declining fame, as we also see the rising star of one Sharon Tate. This movie has some of the best written dialogue of the year, and is easily some of Tarantino's best directing since Inglourious Basterds. The movie is absolutely hilarious while also being incredibly gripping with its story and characters. You can just feel the amount of love and passion that Tarantino put into every frame of his movie. His passion for cinema and filmmaking are almost unrivaled in the industry, and that really comes through here. Great acting, amazing writing, great direction, and beautiful cinematography once again from the great Robert Richardson. The film is certain to become yet another Tarantino classic.
Hey! You're Rick f***ing Dalton. Don't you forget it.
And that was my top 10 movies of 2019. What did you guys think of it? Now, I am trying to get back into more of these videos, and hopefully we'll have definitely way more throughout the year. I'm planning on doing a few different movie reviews for my channel, a couple other channels that I'm doing with a few friends. But anyway, these were my top 10 movies of 2019. What did you guys think of it? Tell me down in the comments below, and tell me what your guys' top 10 movies were this year. And I shall see all you guys in the next video. Have a great day.